coming, by the way. And some people don't really know you, so your name?
Sure. I'm Kate Brown, and I'm currently serving as the Oregon Secretary of State. I was just elected to my second term, and I'm the 24th Secretary of State, and the third woman to serve in this role.
When you were growing up, did you ever have any trouble or any discouragement from anybody in your family to say that you can't be this big person where you are now?
Well, just so you know, I am the tallest woman in my family, so I feel like I am a big person in my family. But I actually wanted to be a lawyer since I was very young, since I was in 3rd grade. And I think when I was in 3rd grade, I told my mother that I wanted to be President of the United States. And she said, "We don't have enough money," which is pretty funny because my father was a doctor. I had a lot of options in terms of education, etc. I will tell you, I don't want to be President of the United States right now. I think it's a really tough job. But I've worked really hard, and I've also had a lot of people help me. And that's why I'm so committed to making sure that all girls in Oregon, and frankly across the United States, and across the world, have the same opportunities that I had.
Oh, that is amazing.
What inspired you to be who you are today?
Well, I wanted to make a difference growing up. I wanted to create a world of justice and equality for all. So I came to Oregon to go to law school and practiced a few years family law, and decided I wanted to be more active in terms of public policy. So I ended up taking a job as an advocate for women in the Oregon legislature after the '91 session. And that's how I got my foot in the Capitol door.
Well, that's amazing. Wow. So, how does being a woman, how do you think that people reacted when they saw that a woman was, coming and running for this position?
Well, I think women, people are getting more used to seeing women both in legislative positions and in executive branch positions. Oregon has been very fortunate in that 2 women have served in the Secretary of State role prior to me. One was Norma Paulus. She was the first woman elected to a statewide office in Oregon. And the other woman is a woman by the name of Barbara Roberts. And Barbara went on to become the first woman governor. So I think Oregonians are pretty used to seeing a woman in the Secretary of State post. So I got pretty good response from Oregon voters, and that's really great to see.
We know that at the national level what the Secretary of State does, but what does the Secretary of State at the state level do?
That is a great question, because when I was running for this office in 2008, Oregon voters would call the campaign and want to know why I was running against Condoleezza Rice, who was the U.S. Secretary of State at the time. I'll tell you that my job is very different than Hillary Clinton's job right now. As I mentioned earlier, I oversee the auditing division. I'm the only secretary in the state that has this division, so that makes it very powerful. I oversee our elections and initiative and referendum laws. That's also a very typical role for a Secretary of State nationally. I oversee our corporation division. That's the first place where folks come to when they want to start a business in Oregon. And the last sort of external division I oversee is our archives division, and this is the keeper of Oregon's public history. In addition, in another way I play a role in the school funding discussion is I serve on the state land board.
Portland Public Schools is planning on closing more schools. Do you think this is because of financial problems? And if so, how do you think that the state can help them with that?
Well, that is a great question. I'm assuming they're looking at closing schools and consolidating because of tough financial budgets. In my role as the Secretary of State, I sort of have 2 areas that I play that would impact education funding. Number 1, I'm the state's chief auditor, and I'm actually the only Secretary of State in the nation to hold the auditing function. So your Oregon Secretary of State position is very unusual. It can deliver state services more effectively and more efficiently, and make sure we get the biggest bang for every taxpayer dollars. Make sure that we can free up dollars for schools, so schools can be adequately funded. The other area I play a role in school funding is encouraging students to participate in voting. Oregon allows 17-year-olds to register to vote. I'm working on a bill to allow 16-year-olds to register to vote. Students wouldn't be able to vote until they're 18. But my theory is that if more students vote, we would figure out ways to encourage the legislature to put more money into schools.
Oh, well, that's an amazing observation, and I'm very happy that I don't have to wait until I'm 18 to have a say what goes on in Oregon.
And I actually think, you guys can have a huge impact on how much money the state puts into schools. You can come down to Salem and testify in front of the committees that determine how much money they're going to put into schools. And there's rallies that are happening on the Capitol steps, so you can come and participate in those rallies. But you can also talk to your legislators and encourage them to put more money into schools.
Do you possibly agree on closing these two schools, Lavon and Vernon?
Well, I will tell you that I think it's really important that we have schools that work for students and that meet students' needs. And it's my understanding that you all have some programs that you really care about and aren't always replicated in the other schools. And so I think it's really important that special programs like this one that we're doing right now continue.
Great. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you so much. You guys did a great job.